out if you close your eyes.
Yo guys, Mental Gamer here and welcome back to another video. So last night I was rewatching the demo for Spider-Man PS4 and I noticed quite a lot of things that I didn't notice the first 200 times I watched it. And in this video I'm just going to go over some of them and make sure everyone knows about them. And that's why today's video is called Things You Might Have Missed in the Spider-Man PS4 demo. So before we get into the video, I just want to say please like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and feel free to comment any things that I missed out in this video. I just want to say thank you to everyone who is liking and subscribing because it means a lot to me. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the video. So the first thing is actually something that Evan Falaka pointed out, and that is that there are boats in the river. Now, this isn't a huge deal, but if you think about it, there's so many good things that could come out of this. If, like in Spider-Man Web of Shadows and Spider-Man 3, we can swim in this game, that means we could swim over to the boats and explore the boats. Now in Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2, there were missions on boats in the sea where you had to save people that were on a sinking boat or something like that. Now, those missions were really annoying because of the way they were executed, but I'm up for it to be in this game anyway. And the fact that there are actually boats in the sea just goes to show how much Insomniac Games are really trying to make this New York a packed New York. And it really shows how many people are actually in this game. Again, it's all about the realism. So when we get the HUD, I noticed that with the health bar, there are also two different slots for web types. So the smaller one, which is under the health bar, is used as a web mine in stealth mode we saw, but in combat it changes to just normal web, where he webbed the thug to the floor. And also the same web type that's used to web the thug to the floor is also used to just web him up and then throw him onto the wall. Now this is very good to see that there are web variations in this game, because obviously Peter Parker's a scientist in this game and there's so many possibilities that these gadgets can do. It's also good to see that it doesn't take too long to recharge, so we can use it as much as we please really. Next one is going back to the stealth mode, where we saw that the enemies have an awareness signal. Now this reminds me of a lot of games lately, but it's not actually been done that much in Spider-Man games. We noticed the meter fill up when he saw the thug being webbed up, and this just means that we're going to have to be very tactical in stealth, which is really awesome. And also seeing those crinkles on the suit is amazing. Another thing I noticed is when in combat, there seems to be an indicator to press circle every time someone goes to punch you. So obviously this must be the dodge button, which I think is amazing. And it also reminds me of Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. Now something I noticed is that it's not counter like in the Arkham games, it's just dodge. When you press circle to dodge their attacks, you just web them in the face whilst jumping over them, which is really good and works really well with the character obviously, and it looks really good on screen. When fighting the Brute, the circle indicator changes to X. Now I don't know why this is, but it's going to be very interesting to see how that folds out whilst playing the game. It could be that because he's so strong, instead of dodging and jumping over him, you maybe use the attack against him. But I don't know. Also, when Spider-Man gets hit by the Brute, the whole HUD vibrates and kind of fuzzes out, which means it's something that we haven't seen in any Spider-Man game before and is really dynamic. And when we're swinging after the helicopter, we can see that there's sometimes this little white circle indicator thing on ledges and stuff that just mean we can web zip there, I assume. And that's really cool. It means there's variety in the web swinging, and the web swinging just looks really cool if you ask me. And even though this is an early build of the game, it's already amazing. Also, a line that Peter says is,
"Saving bad guys from other bad guys. Not how I thought today would go."
That means that Fisk's construction workers are considered bad guys, and I just thought they were construction workers and that was it. But I guess there's obviously corruption with Fisk, and that must mean that they're considered bad guys. And the thing that we saw earlier on, where Spider-Man webs the thugs to the ground or just webs him up, doesn't work on the Brute, and that's obviously because he's far too strong. Now next is actually that detail in the suit that we saw earlier whilst you're on the helicopter. As the wind brushes against the suit, it ripples like mad, and that looks amazing and all adds to the realism. Hopefully we see that a bit more when web swinging as well. About realism in this game, there are so many little details that Insomniac put into this to make it look so much more realistic, including the fact that there are always cars. Even when you're in a mission, you can still see so many cars and people walking on the street, and the birds, like I said in my previous video, and the boats and the ripples, everything just adds to this realism, and I can't wait to see the final product. So this is actually the end of the video, but obviously there are many other things that a lot of people might have missed out, but I've just pointed out some of the ones that maybe quite a lot more people didn't notice. Now before I end the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to Cecilio Sanchez. I hope I said his name right, but he's been really active in my comments and he's been giving quite a bit of support, just like Raging Ray 3. So I just want to thank them for all their support, and please remember to comment in the comment section things that you noticed, things that you didn't notice, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the videos. So thank you all so much for watching, and without further ado, this is Mental Gamer, over and out.